Alright, let's do it. Sapphire Diamond Control, ladies and gentlemen. Playing against Sargon Vito here, playing a Verdict champion, so 3 charges. Verdict. For those that aren't familiar with the mechanics from the latest Hex set, Verdict is basically a Punisher mechanic, but it chooses from a pool of Punisher options, so both of them are always relevant. There's not going to be usually one that's just like has no impact on the game that your opponent can get away with. 1 resource and no diamond for the guidance, so this is a pretty easy redraw here. Alright, seems pretty good, right? We've got the Arcanovex here on 1 as a frost form, so even though there's a 3 up top in the corner here, this has 1 frost form, so it'll come out as a 1/1. Are the entity cards any good? Those are the ones that make portals, right? I'm still learning all the ones from the new set. I think some of the rare and legendary ones are probably going to be constructed playable, but a lot of the common and uncommon ones are just going to be draft leavings. So when the Arcanovex or the Brittle Arcanovex comes into play, it creates a random action with cost equal to this troop's cost. This one created a Dust Cloud here, which gives a troop +1/+3 until end of turn. So kind of useful combat trick. Put this Diamond Shard out and start attacking. Get the Heart's Whisper next turn and draw 2 cards. Half the interesting part of testing. So this ZX Judgment lets my opponent Verdict twice and then draw a card. And then this put this randomly in the top half of your deck. It gets 0 cost. Interesting. Alright, so Verdict, so I get a positive effect and a negative effect. I'm going to give my troop -1/-1 as opposed to letting my opponent draw a card. I don't really care about my little Arcanovex. And I'm going to give my opponent a Daybreak here, as opposed to discarding a card at random. So they killed my guy, they got a Daybreak, and they drew a card. The momentum deck is really, really good. Well, my opponent summoned a Phantom here. That's fine. I really don't want to discard a card at random. I want my Heart's Whisper and I want my Psychic Ascension. I'm gonna play this. Play the Heart's Whisper. We've non-resourced at this point. We've got 2 more resources lined up already. So Heart's Whisper draws 2 cards. But it Fate Weaves before it does that, so the first of these cards is guaranteed to be my choice of resource or non-resource, so I want some action, so let's draw at least 1 non-resource. So we drew Witcher's Grasp, and the next card was a resource. I think the momentum deck is real strong. I got 10th in the batch last week with it, and then I've been doing really well with it on the ladder. Is your opinion and better than the Illuminate deck? I don't, unlike a lot of TCG players, I'm not going to tell you an opinion on that, because any opinion I would give you on that topic would just be like me making shit up, essentially. Like, we don't actually know like which of these decks is better or worse than the others, and it's kind of silly to like force these opinions with like, I'm really pretty unsure. Let's Frost form this Dorko out here. I'm gonna have to discard a card, but one of these. Target troop gets -3. Yeah, I'm just gonna bin the Eldritch Binding for now, I think. Dust Cloud. Both the Candles and Momentum decks I've played so far feel very powerful. It's gonna take a couple weeks for the format to shake out for us to really get a feel for like what's good, bad, and otherwise. I mean, I think that's true of most decks. I think it's pretty rare that a deck is as good as something like, say, Turbo Psychic Ascension, where it's going to be difficult for the opponents to interact with it. Hex is usually pretty good about making their formats interactive, and something like Turbo PA, I think, kind of went under the radar because it was supposed to exist in a format where Lasgar's Vengeance was legal, and then it no longer did. The key to everything, as always, is like, can you have a strong matchup against something like the Momentum deck while also being reasonable against the field? And like, I don't like the Diamond Momentum deck. In addition to being like expensive, I don't think it's that much better than a lot of the other things that I've played so far. So I'm not sure I buy that. Your verdicts. Oh, you know what? Oh, I'm so dumb. I could have kept this Eldritch Binding, and then Eldritch Binding plus Winter's Grasp to kill this. That was a pretty big mistake. Yep. So each opposing summons 2 phantoms. My troop gets -2/-2. That's fine. He can kill my guys. No, Nick. I posted in the channel. If you want notifications, you should follow me on Twitter or whatnot. So they have 5 cards. I'm gonna drop to 7. I'm just gonna play this Dust Cloud out here. And this Arcanovex might not be good. So far, he's just been like literally a 1/1 for 1. I've just like discarded these other cards. It's gonna be a learning experience today. So I'll play this. So Silvertail Adjudicator is a 3/2 with flight. Then when it comes into play, if my opponent has more health, I gain 5 health. If my opponent has more cards in hand, I draw 2 cards. So we're gonna gain 5, draw 2 when this comes into play. I'm gonna go ahead and Frost Form this Dorko, see what we get. 3rd time's the charm, right? Hey, retreat's not bad. Puts a card I control into my hand so we can pick this Silver Talon back up. Twitch should have an option to give you notifications when I go live. Little oldest son. Look at this, perfect. So they're hero falling this, so I'm gonna go ahead and retreat it. Good beats. Winter's Grasp, sure. Okay, so they drew Winter's Grasp off my deck on their Journey to Nightmare. We've not had a Necrotic deck pop up yet that I've seen, at least. That's on my list of things to build, though. 10 out of 10 on my list of things to build. Dark card of Nulzann. That's pretty good. So Dark card says at the beginning of each player's turn, they sacrifice a non-socketed card they control. We're gonna go ahead and play him on out here and kind of whittle down my opponent's board. So we'll lose the Daybreak here almost certainly, and the next turn we'll start working our way into their real cards. See if we're gonna be able to fight through them drawing 2 cards a turn. The Psychic Ascension might be able to do it for us. We have a Runebind to protect our Dark Heart. There's 17, not in danger of getting attacked out of this game at least. Still see like a hero fall or something during my ready step. Hopefully they just don't have anything. Guidance is great because it ticks my Psychic Ascension down while also providing me some card selection. Another Runebind is phenomenal. I have to go ahead and just ship in with this Dark Heart here, and then they're gonna have to choose between their Arbiter. It's annoying. I guess that's a card I need to be conscious of and play around. This was the Sunlit Sentence, which says destroy each attacking troop, and then my opponent gets to verdict twice. Yeah, I should not attack with this willy-nilly like that. Now they're going to sacrifice this. Yeah. Next turn I get to Psychic Ascension, which is nice. When hitting resources off our deck is good for us. God bless opponent. Decree of Banishing. Yeah, so I'm going to let this come into play. This is a little trick. When your opponent's playing removal on your Dark Heart, unless you're going to be able to get rid of the removal off the table as a rune, don't Runebind the removal, Runebind your Dark Heart. So this way, the Dark Heart becomes a rune, the removal spell resolves, and then the Dark Heart's going to get to flip back out as a Dark Heart as soon as you draw a resource. Hopefully my opponent gives us something to unhenge here. That'd be nice. Yeah, that's fine. Sacrifice 2 artifacts, each opposing champion. I think I'm letting them draw 2 cards here. I don't think I want to lose my Dark Heart. I don't think so. I've been doing a bunch of magic lately. Alright, have 2 Daybreaks. Have +2/+2. Yes. Sorry. Not looking good for our hero here. This Journey Nightmare's just been in play for far too long. Unhenge that one. Interrupt target troop. Alright, Psychic Ascension, how busted are you? Hopefully the answer is pretty busted. So, Psychic Ascension changed our champion here, and now our charge power makes a... That's not terrible. Our charge power makes a action, and whenever we play an action, we generate a random troop. So we'll see. Opponent's hitting us for 6 next turn, so they might be able to power through the Psychic Ascension because we're at a pretty low health total right now. Interesting that they threw away Daybreak instead of this Decree of Benching. Doesn't do anything. Down to 7 here. Yep. So that we don't really care about this card coming. It doesn't draw them cards or gain them health, but it's just a 3/2, and we're at 7. So like, you know, details. Into the Unknown. Into the Unknown's actually pretty good for us here. It lets us start of your turn, yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and Into the Unknown this guy. So they stop, drawing extra cards every turn. Yeah. Look at a different random blood card. Not attacking with this because, again, I don't really want to attack it into a Sunlit Sentence. I'll be a little conservative here. They're Sunlit Sentencing anyways, just to get their 2 verdicts in. I have some Phantoms. Wow, God, these are just brutal. Alright, I mean, I guess I'm sacrificing some troops here. Can't just power up their team. That's, ugh. Gross. Yeah, Hex might have finally done what, like, WotC's always flailed around it but unable to do, which is make up constructed playable Punisher mechanic. Alright, Crackling Blast, let's make a random 5. Look at that. Flight, Swift Strike, end of your turn, eliminate 1. That's a good one to get. Gobble that one on up. Please, RNGesus. Let the Psychic Ascension best my opponent. What's going on, GGXB? And for all the Hexers that weren't around for last night's stream, this is my second stream on Hex. We streamed a little bit last night, so be sure to... Oh, geez, now they get to illuminate at the end of every turn? What a tilt. This Cosmic Calling still doesn't make a troop, right? Tilts. Really? So... this Psychic Ascension only makes a troop if a troop exists with the cost that you are making it for, so there isn't... I can't Heart's Whisper because I want to hold up Dingle Dance so I don't die to this flyer. So I can't, I don't get a troop from this because there isn't a 3-cost Sapphire Diamond troop for the Hex to generate. I can't tell if I'm winning either. I think I'm halting this. Stop it, opponent. Please stop. I want to use my resources and make poopers. They're gonna attack with this, so we're gonna Dingle Dance the crap out of it. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Ring-a-ding-ding. So this turns their guy into a 0/1 until end of turn. This is Diamond Sapphire control. And it's an attempt at it. We're playing Cassia. I don't know if that's right either, but that's what we're doing with my life. Avatar, yep. They're gonna take their champ power here. Hopefully this Heart's Whisper and our champ power is gonna pull us through this, so we end up winning. Each opponent draws 2 cards, each troop. My troops are disposable. That's fine. I'm gonna get more of them. -2/-2 it is. Sign me up, opponent. Hey. Tell you about things that are great. My troops dying. Alright. Heart's Whisper. Take a non-resource, please. That's sad. One shy of making a copycat. Silver Talon Adjudicator, you don't say. I'm gonna Runebind this Dorko. Maybe this is a little aggressive. Then I can play this, which will let me gain 5 and draw 2, which will re-trigger this, which will let it commit and make another thing. Oh, baby. Ooh, God. Psychic Ascension is such a messed up top end. It's still just, like, the best thing you can be doing in the late game in Hex. Cockatrice is a pretty good start to grinding through our Psychic Ascension. I can give this Clash of Steel, I think. I'm gonna chump block with the Silver Talon Adjudicator since I'm gonna clash anyways. And they don't actually have Sapphire in their deck, so I don't have to worry about interrupts. Oh, this is... I was like, why do they have a Blood Eye Defile? That's the end of the unknown. I'm so lucky. You know what's great? Being lucky. If you have to choose between being lucky and being good, you should choose being lucky every time. So we're gonna get the Clash of Steel, and then we're gonna Silver Talon Adjudicator and draw 2 cards. Are you enjoying being buried, opponent? Are you enjoying being buried? I'm enjoying burying you. Is it good for you, friend? It's good for me. Alrighty. Notably didn't activate this yet because I wanted to be able to draw some extra cards with my Silver Talon Adjudicator, Guppy Gloves, and Unhenge. Jeez, the snowball, the Psychic Ascension snowball is real. You gotta get under decks like this. You can't go over them. Cockatrice, how about you're looking a little unhinged there, opponent. You may pay 1 if you do summon a phantom. No, I don't actually think that's worth it. So the pay 1 there is a charge, and I think I'd rather have my charges for my champion power. Alright, question. What are the largest Sapphire troops that I can... So, standard legal cards cost 7, 8, 9... Shard, Sapphire... Stratolith is the only 7. There's a 10 cost one now? There is a 10 cost. What does this do? When an opposing card is buried, bury the top 5 cards. Oh no, Stratolith, that's way worse than Stratolith. Alright. I'm just gonna take 4 here. Stratolith is better. Much better. It's a good one. Hyperborean Huntmaster, another crack. God, I am so good at this. Never forget that Hex is a skill game and the better player always wins. Lucky. Ask me what it's like sometime, chat. Alright, so we're gonna choose 7 here. So we'll give this -7 attack and make us a 7 cost guy, which is gonna be the Stratolith. Gobble, gobble. Okay, you get rid of my Stratolith. Deal. We have a game, as they say. Declan Scott! I need to go break up the children. Declan Scott! Stop attacking the train tracks. Let's go. Come on. Go ahead and grab those. Let's go. Come on. Wanna watch Ghosts? Wanna watch Ghosts? Alright. I wasn't thinking. I should have planned ahead and gotten their tablets out before I streamed today. It's when your action generates a troop that generates an action. You want lab rats? Okay, it's going. Man, the generated a Runebind. The world is really our oyster now, huh? The world is our oyster. I generated a portal, right? Rare portal. Ooh, so that's gonna change into something else later. Put target troop into its controller's hand, create an uncommon portal, put it into your hand. Alright. Oh geez, so I could use this to bounce one of my guys that makes more things? Just look at the sick value we're generating. Worth noting, only 15 cards left in my deck. So, gonna need to actually kill my opponent here at some point eventually, you know. At some point, we will need to kill my opponent. Oh yeah, sure, Darkheart. Yeah, man, you do you. I don't know how I ever managed to beat a Darkheart. It's gonna be tough. Oh look, into the unknown. Yep, alright. Stun it, bounce it. Harder, better, faster, stronger. I got all these Runebinds, I don't care about Sunlit Sentence. Alright, so the opponent's not playing an aggressive deck, so the Huntmasters come out. Into the Unknown seems great. The Verdict of the Ancient King seemed great. Winter's Grasp doesn't seem particularly good. Maybe leave in one Grasp. And none of the rest of these cards seem very good. Just bring in the Verdicts and the Into the Unknown. Sure, let's do it live. If you kill opponent without drawing all of your cards, is it really winning? Asking the hard-hitting questions. Arcing Light is very good against both the Candles decks and the Momentum decks. They both generate very large things that you would like to revert. Yeah, it sounds great, right? It's not great, but it's like keepable. We've got an Ice on the draw, which will hopefully find us Diamond for this guidance. We have the Arcanovex here. Perfect! Look, it just like we drew it up, chat fam. So I'll put a resource on top of my deck, so I'm going to guarantee it 3 and 3, 4 and 4. Next turn we get to Frost Form out the Arcanovex, which will make the Unhenge. So Unhenge is a 3-cost interrupt target troop, but if we control an elemental, it gets -2 cost. While this does not currently say elemental, when you Frost Form something, it makes it an elemental in addition to its other card types. So this will be an elemental for us that costs 1 here. Yeah, revert's a very powerful mechanic. I think it's sweet. Alright. Give me a random 1-0. You'll note that I played my diamond first there. I'll just do bury the top 3 cards. Alright. So far, the Arcanovex has been medium minus. I think it's been worse than Light Devotus would have been so far. Yep, I'll Verdict. Yep, you can. Do I want to kill my guy? No, I'm gonna give you a Phantom, because I think I want to keep this Unhinged cheap. I almost just snapped killing my Brittle, but I've got this Unhenge, you see. Cockatrice. This card is good against Cockatrice. I'm just gonna ban this Guidance for now. Yeah, that's fine. Now the question becomes, do I want to jam Heart's Whisper or do I want to hold up Unhenging? And I think I want to just jam Heart's Whisper. It's pretty good. So next turn we get to jam another Whisper plus hold up Runebind / Unhenge. And then the following turn we can jam Darkheart plus Runebind and Unhenge. Yay, 1-cost interrupt. Let's see if they've got something scary on 4 that I needed to hold up Unhenge for. So again, one of the things like that makes playing Control X difficult in the new format. I don't really know like what threats my opponent is playing that I'm supposed to be playing around to play optimally in this match. They have Twilight Eclipse in their deck. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I don't think I want to play the Dark card out into a potential removal spell here. So I'm going to go ahead and play this Heart's Whisper and guarantee a resource. I hit a slow shard. Okay, how much does the Ancient Verdict guy cost? Does anyone know? Is it 5 or 6? I think it's 5. I think it's 5. That's 5. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this non-slow shard out so I can unhedge the Ancient Verdict guy this turn if they have it. And I don't currently have any ways to... Oh, I gotta change a diaper. I'll be right back. Get down on clock, he needs to play faster. Declan's watching this right now, buddy. Tilt. Yeah, and like, now I drew a second Dark Heart, so like, I really can't afford to play one out and get a Hero Fall in. Let's Frost Form this, see what we get. Sure. I'm gonna put another resource on top of my deck here, which will let them draw the resource with the Journey to Nightmare. Oh, you know what? I probably should have taken a resource off the Guidance. I was expecting to draw the resource off the top of my deck when I was thinking about the sequencing, but this is going to let them take that resource, so I'm not guaranteed to have a resource next turn now. Why do I care about ZX Judgment? I don't really give a shit about that right now. Does it do anything? Okay, Declan's not watching. You want to watch Masha? Masha? Okay. No, we're gonna watch Masha for a little bit, okay? You picked a show every morning. Jake's home from school today, so he can pick a show. Yeah, but I don't care about verdicting twice. I don't know if these verdicts are the verdict deck's very good. The verdict mechanic, I don't know if it's playable or not. Like the way the current board state is set up, especially with like these brittle whatevers. Like a lot of the time, I don't care about verdicting. I'm just gonna avoid this because I have these Dark Hearts, so I want these Dark Hearts to not have a Phantom Nef to get through. Yep. So punished for not guidancing for a resource last turn. Let's go ahead and play this out. Will not be surprised if they Runebind it. Or they kill it and I need to Runebind it. It's a Hero Fall or something here. Yeah, they know about this Runebind, so they know this is coming. Hopefully we can flip that back out next turn and then play this other one out. Another Twilight Eclipse. That's kind of terrifying. All right, we need to hit a resource here. That's not gonna do it, huh? I'm gonna start with this, see what we get. We get a guidance. Polymorphic army. Alright, well. Play this and pass the turn, I guess. If they have a hero fall or something, they're gonna be in a little bit of trouble here. Yep. I think we're just gonna die to these. It's possible I should have some Scouring Lights on my board. I think I'm gonna cut this card after this match. It's been pretty mediocre. I think it's worse than Light the Voters would have been. Just like, I didn't think about the fact that like keeping our hand full of garbage is like bad for our Silver Talon Adjudicators. This has been like irrelevant in most of these games. Just gonna die to these stupid Twilight Eclipses. Yeah, that's what it is. They have better options right now. We're not playing Consult. The deck doesn't have nearly enough troops to play Consult the Talons. Oh sweet, we get to play on my water battle board now. Water. It seems medium. I'm gonna keep it. We loosey goosey. Play this. Fate, we have a non-resource. We got 4 resources lined up. A 5th technically. Tends a little bit awk because the Psychic Ascension to the opener and opponent's playing Withering Gaze. Yeah, but like, I get that you like should play it in a particular manner, but like, is it still good when you're playing it in that manner is the question. Like game one had no, the Psychic Ascension deck had more troops than this, and most of them were cheaper. Like, you don't want to be playing like counting on like mobilizing your. You don't want to count on like mobilizing Dark Hearts and Silver Talon Adjudicators. Yeah, you're probably right that like the troop counts are technically the same, but at the same time, a lot of the troops in the other version were cheaper. You had Seers and you had 3 cost troops and you had Light the Voters, which made 1 cost troops. Nightfall, I guess. Have a daybreak. I'm just gonna let them draw a card here, because they're gonna draw a card from this, so they'll have to discard. You're not picking. You're not picking. You're picky, but you're not picking. Alright, so let's do this. Everyone knew Thunderfield's hero rotated out of impact. The card was very good and saw a lot of play. Nope, no magic on the schedule. You can always check my schedule link down below if you're wondering what we're playing. Darkheart sounds fantastic. Guidance for a non-resource here. I did update the budget decks for this set. If you click on the budget decks article, it says the top and bottom when they were last updated. If you're ever wondering about that, keep all the information super clear on there, as clear as possible. They hit the 0 cost one, yep. Hopefully one of these is, yep, give my guys -1/-1. Oh, that's awkward for them. So, okay, that was a little bit, I wonder if they're gonna change that. So they give my troop -1/-1, but the state-based actions hadn't killed it yet, so I was able to also sacrifice that one. That was really good for us. I have another daybreak. Discard a card at random. Nope, you can draw a card. And again, this puts them to 8 cards, so they're gonna have to discard. We need to play Darkheart out with Runebind backup, which is always ideal. They'll lose one of their constants here. And we'll be able to protect my guy. And Psychic Ascension is steadily ticking down. So basically our goal here is every turn we want to play an action and make a resource drop, so that way we steadily progress ourselves into this the Psychic Ascension here. I'm not playing any clashes in the main deck. think we don't really have the thresholds to make Clash very playable. You can't play double Sapphire cards on 3. What's this do? Destroy target constant? That's gross. Alright, so they spent 2 cards to take my dark card off the table. I'm okay with that. This spell seems super narrow against me. And again, I'm gonna grab a resource with this because again, I just want to like make sure I hit a resource drop every single turn. Get this guy out, make a random one. Wrath of the Elementals. Alright, that's not terrible. I'm just gonna use this to get rid of the Nightfall. Keep ticking that on down there. I'm gonna play this out since I have an Elemental. I keep my Unhenge up here. I'm gonna be able to play this in probably 2 turns, 1 to 2 turns. More than an Ossuary. Hopefully they play their 5-drop and we get to unhenge them. Tilt. I have a Phantom. I think I'd rather... This isn't guaranteed. The Nightfall's a guaranteed damage every turn. This is not. At some point, Nick, I've got a list of decks I want to get through that have been like backpiling, and none of them involve my card. So at some point we will get to it. Some lost time to make up for. Into the unknown, that one almost certainly. Unhenge, okay. That's good. Pick that up. And then I'm gonna go ahead and Fate Weave a resource to the top of my deck here, so that way, hopefully it's a non-slow shard, and then I can play Psychic Ascension plus hold up Unhenge next turn. Well, I guess I can guarantee to do that, right? I'm gonna be able to just Winter's Grasp this at end of turn. This is a Linux native version of Hex. So I talked with Chris Woods and he, God bless, he looked at their source stuff and said it passed all the automatic Unity checks, and he just exported it for me, and it pretty much mostly just works. Once he gets a chance, so this client isn't updated with the patches that they had last night, the client-side patches. So once he gets a chance to update it with the latest client fixes, we're gonna share it with other folks. God, I love when my PA makes constructed playable cards. That's so good for me. Probably gonna take over this game at this point. I don't even know if that's necessarily true, Peter. Like, I've got no constant hate in my deck, and we seem to be winning this match. An opposing troop is buried. If this is... Oh. Is this gonna kill me? This feels like it might kill me. I feel like I don't want to put my shields down, though. This is gonna kill me in 7 turns. Hopefully we're gonna generate an answer or draw an answer in 7 turns. Yeah, I'd much rather weave this into nothing. Get out of here. Yeah, they're not going to be able to bring this back, but like, just as a 3-1 flyer, this very realistically might kill me. Another Unhenge, alright. Well, I can't block either of those, so I guess we're just smashing. This gross little tongue is unblockable. We have interrupt target troop and interrupt target non-troop, so I got most of my bases covered here. Verdicts aren't that scary when you have troops that you don't care about. Like, the verdict is probably really good against like troop-based aggressive decks, but like when I have just like all these throwaway troops, like the verdict's really not that scary. You are not getting my tongue breeder, sir. Cut that right on out there. That's 10 out of 10 what's about to happen. They were gonna kill my tongue breeder and take it. I would like to generate some more card advantage with my free tongue breeder here. Sacrifice a troop I control. Oh no. How will I... Or 10 or more cards with opposing crypts. That's actually almost going to be useful. Okay, let's get rid of this. It makes my unhenges more expensive, but like 9 resources at this point. Yep, you spend a card on that tongue breeder. Like the Voodoo's, alright, deal. Put 9 resources on my deck here. So this can activate to exhaust the opposing troop, right? Sweet. So we have a stop on their ready, on their enter combat. I do. So this locks down the 3-1. Yep. Yep. Yeah, Psychic Ascension is still just like the best top end you can be playing. Like, it's gonna generally devour up mid-range decks like what my opponent's playing. He's gone, Jim. Gonna fog us for a turn at least. To draw another piece of action next turn. This is good and bad. It's awkward that if I unhenge, or if I runebind this, it's going to come back as a journey into Nightmare. It's going to revert. I'm going to take a couple more hits here before I pull the trigger on runebinding this. Troops you control get target troop you control gets +1/+3. Alright. It's a real tilt that this is only a troop I control, because otherwise I'd be able to target this and then vanquish it. I think I'm taking one more hit here before I runebind this. Alright, or not. Maybe I should have played this out too. Yeah, I probably should have played this too, just to like get more troops out proactively to race them. All right, or they didn't take it. All right, deal. Do this now, just in case it gives us something that helps. Hey, I like when my things make a troop make of action. Well, I already had a Fate Weave in the tank, right? We're looking for a Verdict of the Ancient Kings here so we can counter this on the way back down. I am such a skilled hexer. Never forget, Hex is a skill game and the best player always wins. Alright, let's get him. Let's go. Let's go! Vroom vroom, beep beep, hop in my Jeep. What if I use my no button? Look, we boarded in 4 Verdicts of the Ancient Kings for a reason, okay, people? So this is just a candle. So I'm actually going to go ahead. I should have done this last turn, probably. I'm going to vanquish this to generate a random 4-drop and make a Valor. Are they dead? I feel like they're dead. My troops can't revert? Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Let the merry butterfly beatdown begin. Valorous butterflies. Valorous butterflies. Rawr. Oh, baby. Sour grumpus. Coming in clutch. Alright, I'm gonna give Arcanovex one more shot here. Back on in here. The old 45-minute match. Oh. Control decks are fun to grind with, but remember, if your goal is laddering quickly, this is not the deck for you. I think this hand's a trap against a momentum deck. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can not do anything until turn. Like, I can't, like, not have a play. Like, that hand wasn't going to impact the board until turn 4, which is just too slow. So I Fate Wolf a resource with my Ice, so hopefully that'll get us Sapphire. Otherwise we get a shot at Guidance to get us Sapphire. Great, Guidance, looking for a Sapphire. One of the things that you want to keep in mind when you're playing a deck like this is mulligan aggressively. Our deck's got Silver Talon Adjudicators in it. Our deck's got, that's what I'm searching for. It's got Heart's Whispers in it. We mulligan very well because we have a lot of draw too. So just like, get to hands that do stuff. Okay, so Rolf is not playing one of the traditional Lady Avalanche lists that have been popping up so far, so not the Diamond Wild list. Nothing's really traditional yet in this format, but there are ones that have been a little bit more. Yeah, we're just gonna set ourselves up here to windmill some Dark Hearts. This is a free attack into a free decision for my opponent. So and then they don't block here, so I get a free point of damage. Because like, and this thing is a great bluff attacker because like it generates a 1-cost thing. So like, I very realistically could have generated a combat trick there. Sure. Okay, so opponent's just like playing a ramp deck. Probably some bigger bombs at their top end. That sounds like a thing Rolf wants to play. He played, or they played a lot of Runic Avalanche's deck, a lot of Runic Avalanche decks last season. So, here's my Dark Cart. There are many like them, but this one's gonna make you sacrifice a dude. I have Winter, sure. So the second Dark Heart's probably just gonna put them in the ground. This is really important. Attack with this Dark Heart before you play the second one, because if my opponent knows a second Dark Heart is coming, they're gonna chump block. Whereas if they don't know there's a second Dark Heart coming, they're gonna take the 4, thinking they can keep one of their 2 cards. So it's a really, really small thing, but it ends up netting us 4 points of damage here. So again, it's traditionally good to play your things post-combat. Hopefully opponent doesn't go 7th Shard Eternal Seeker here. That could be a sequence that could get them back in this game. Wonder if they're playing Sharkmart. Sharkmart plus Lady Avalanche seems really hot. Why are we playing this? Are we drawing a register? They are, okay. They're up to 7 here. So, I'm gonna draw a card for the turn. I'm gonna get to go this into Smitebringer, into Silver Talon Adjudicator, draw 2 cards. Just like sign me up. Well, I guess I could have gotten the number on this higher, right? I could have triggered Assault there. I'm hitting my champion power here, so I could sacrifice this and this and keep my Silver Talon Adjudicator for a turn to hopefully have lethal next turn. Because this is the pretty battle board I selected for this deck. I went full casual this morning and like went through and picked out appropriate sleeves and battle boards for the decks I plan to play today. Pomegranate, sure. I wonder if all their ramps gonna add up to anything. In Hex, you can buy nice cosmetic items and earn sleeves. Look at my animated Psychic Ascension sleeves. Yep, my bird is dead. We're gonna play on a boat later today too. Who doesn't want to play Hex on a pirate ship, really? It's a good one. I'm gonna play this as a 3-drop because like random 3-drops are better than random 1-drops. Sweep away. Sweet. Protect Bedorko. Put some action on top of my deck. Between Runebind and Sweep away, they're probably dead next turn. Alright, ramp. This is probably not a Hyperborean Huntmaster matchup. Grasp seems fine. I'll slide in a Verdict, I guess. My reserves are not particularly good. My reserves are not particularly good. I don't know what their payoff cards are. So like, if we play more of this game and their payoffs end up being something that Verdict can interrupt, I will bring in more Verdicts, but I don't want to bring in a bunch of Verdicts just to counter ramp actions, I don't think. So Sargo, I know you're not doing it to be disingenuous, but one of my pet peeves is that when people say things like that in really early instances of the format, because I don't think anyone's played enough Hex in this new format yet to like really know what decks matchups look like in the slightest. Like, there's no way that you've played enough with Rolf's deck, and especially against like specifically what I'm playing, to like know what your matchup against this deck is versus your matchup against other decks in the format. I really wish TCG players would get into like the habit of just saying like, I don't know, more often, because honestly a lot of the time we just don't know when it comes to a lot of things, and there's nothing wrong with that. We don't have to know everything. It's worthwhile to say I need to practice or I need to investigate that more, and I think TCGs would be a better place if people would take that attitude a little bit more often. Everyone just like, a lot of people have like this feeling like they have to know everything, and you really don't. It's okay. Half the fun of TCGs is exploring and figuring out what's good, bad, and otherwise. And maybe you're on mobile and you mean like, traditionally speaking, control decks line up well against ramp decks, and again, that is traditionally true. That being said, there are a lot of ramp decks that have existed that can give control decks runs for their money in particular formats. It's depending on the tools that the control deck has. Yeah, there you go. I agree that in traditional TCG archetype lineup theory, that generally speaking control decks line up well against ramp decks. I would agree with that assessment. Where my dark cards at? Dark card. Alright, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put non-resource atop my deck, make my champ power here. Get a little Dorko to make Cosmic Calling better. Nice, Juju. We're gonna build some go wide decks with him at some point. It's rude. A bunch of, looks like this is just an Unhenge, which unfortunately is going to cost us 3 because my elemental is going away. Look, you don't know what that candle did to him and his family. Alright, looking for a dark heart. Am I hitting this? I don't really care about this Eye of Winter. So like there's two like schools of thought you can take when playing against a ramp deck with a control deck. And one school of thought is you can spend resources interacting with the ramp cards. And another school of thought that I prescribe to is I would rather just spend my answers like beating the threats that they're actually playing out. I really like the Momentum deck. If you check my YouTube archives from last night, you'll see they are playing Wildlife. Alright, we'll probably board in some more Verdicts, even though Wildlife is mostly unplayable because of Runebind. I played with the Momentum deck a little bit last night. I think the deck is very powerful. I also have a ton of fun playing it. It's the most fun I've had playing an aggressive deck, probably since Yodelburn was a deck. Yodelburn was the last time I was having anywhere near that much fun with an aggressive deck. Yeah, like this card is literally just unplayable as long as there's a Runebind deck in the format. Just not. If Runebind decks are at all popular, this card's just total garbage. Like, you have to work way too hard for a card that just gets interrupted by a main deckable 1-cost quick card. Work way too hard for it. Oh, you know what? I should have. This guy, I talked about that it made another Unhenge. That's funny. I talked about this. This guy does not count as an elemental unless he's frost formed. So, all right. And when the wildlife comes off here off of Runebind, it's just for 0. So Runebind effectively just interrupted their wildlife. And it's not like they're playing a deck that, like, maybe if you were playing like a Blood Wild wildlife deck, so you could. Nope. I want to use the one that doesn't have mobilize explicitly here. Hopefully, draw a shard here. I think I Fate Wove. Yeah, sweet. All right, so if I do this, I have 5 cards in my hand. How aggressive do I want to be here? How aggressive do I want to be? I have a couple lines. I could grasp this and then Silver Talon to draw 2 cards. I kind of want to do that. I'm gonna grasp my own card and then Silver Talon to draw 2 cards. I'm gonna pass the turn here. Yeah, I missed the point of damage, sue me. Stop it. Oh, that's almost mobilized. Ain't nobody got time for your shit, Neo. Ain't nobody got time for that. Neo, I said nobody has time for your shit. Get out of here. Jeez. This doesn't listen. This doesn't listen. Arrgh. It's gonna come down to that 1 point of damage, right? Like story of my life. Resolves, trigger targets, probably the bird. It's unfortunate. I'm gonna Runebind this. No, I'm not going to Runebind this because I really want to make sure I have a Runebind in case they draw wildlife. I'm just going to cast a Spectral Shield as a Fate Weave here, so that way I can get a resource guaranteed, and then next turn I'll play the resource, play the Silver Talon. Oh, I could have blocked that, right? Well, this gives it permanently +1? I should read my cards. Look, literacy is a big problem among TCG players. I'm actually just like a mostly functional illiterate person. G-Hogland, why'd you mess that up? Because I'm an idiot. That's why. Just glad we could all clear that up. Glad we cleared that one up for everyone. All right, Psychic Ascension. Let's go! I'm a highly functioning idiot. Smells like I need to change a diaper, children. Did you poop, child? You did poop. The nose knows. The nose knows. Fuck. You guys gotta run this crap upstairs in the most literal sense. Back down. Back down, yep. Crap is piling up here. That's rude, opponent. Am I supposed to let this resolve? I think I'm supposed to let this resolve. Again, I just need insurance against wildlife. This is probably gonna void my 3. Yep. So I took an extra 5er here that I didn't have to take because I'm an idiot. I like how he just hasn't used his champion this match. Dark Heart of Nulzann, that's a pretty good one, yeah. Non-resource on top. Damp power. With the top 2 cards of your deck, put one of them into your hand, put the remaining into your deck. That's really good. Huh. Alright, play my Dark Heart out. I guess these other cards don't do much. I should have sequenced this in the other order. Ooh, another Dark Heart. Yep, sign me up. Stack a thing. I'm gonna Runebind this. Hi. Hi, buddy. So I'm Runebinding this because we have this other Dark Heart here. So the Dark Heart's gonna mow through their stuff, kind of. Also, this Dark Heart gets a free block on this guy. Let's see, they have a bunch of cards in, so they could have another way to kill this, potentially. They're just giving us momentum, that's fine. I got plenty of chump blockers. Can anything go over PA? Psychic Ascension's kind of like the Sphinx's revelation of this format. It's kind of just like the big scary top end that people aren't beating. Another Runebind. That's actually pretty good for us, right? All right, so let's play this Dark Heart out. I'm gonna go ahead and pass the turn here. Opponent's got to sacrifice 2 things. Maybe I'm supposed to attack there to start ticking this waylay up. I'm probably supposed to attack there to start ticking my waylay up. So this next play is not going to be super. Oh, they're not attacking. Weird. Why wouldn't they attack? All right, we're going to lose this and lose the bird, and hopefully hit a resource here for this. Dang, I am such a professional. Would love a silver Talon Adjudicator to gain some health. Just a truly skilled hexer here. Lift of the sky. Yep. Get some health. Attack with these 2. Start ticking this waylay up. How do we get owned by Pomegranate? It's like they're just getting ranged by these Dark Hearts. Pomegranate doesn't do nothing to nobody. Here's my no button. Let me know how it feels. Again, just don't play wildlife, kids. Don't do it. Oh, the turn me Runebound Chop Knight. Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I had to do that though. Feel like we pretty much had to do that. Oh, this makes copycats, doesn't it? I forgot this makes copycats. Oh yeah. Ah, yeah. These are my dark hearts. There are many like them, but all of these ones are mine. Alright, crunch for 11. Waylay now interrupts things that cost 6 or less. Alright, I think we have the spread covered here. Alright, sweet. Let's